Ugh. You know? You know what I'm saying? I'm saying, ugh. Anyways, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the stream. I'm your host, Stream Tom. Today, it's like kind of warm, so I'm going to do something weird. I'm going to crack the window. Can I reach it? There we go. Ah, the cool air. Off to a date. Ooh, have fun. Hopefully it goes well and positively and all is good. Today is probably a good day. I'm doing pretty good. I'm awake. I got my coffee. I did some more video work, so you guys will be getting the this week I have the video coming out for my thoughts on the Fae event, and then afterwards I'll go over my thoughts into Arcane Trickster next week ahead of Arcane Trickster actually releasing. So that should be good. I spent a bunch of time just doing some editing on the solo guided playthrough stuff, so I now have all of it on YouTube, so it's all just going to be releasing, but it takes a long time to actually edit down and cut down. So yeah. Anyways, I'm just enjoying my day so far. Are you enjoying it? That's good. Yeah, the build itself is meant to be strong. So like just right away, the build itself is meant to be good. But obviously there is, well, okay, I don't generally build builds that are meant to be bad. But, you know, obviously, reminder, you don't have to play it solo just because that is kind of the original intent. You can kind of play it however you want. Yeah, what's up, everybody? What's up? I guess I can do the thing and show the thing. Whoop. Yeah, what's up, everybody? How you guys doing? Hope you guys are doing good. What's up? Welcome to the stream. I'm your host, Stream Tom. And today, like many of you, I sit waiting patiently. Where is the Arcane Trickster? When is the Arcane Trickster? It's next week. In fact, it'll be coming out in likely 7 days. But now I have to wait 7 days. I've thought about just sitting here patiently waiting for 7 days and just being like, till eventually it goes. But yes, that is something that is going to be happening at some point eventually. And in the meantime, I just keep thinking about it. Now, one of the reasons why I'm patiently waiting for Arcane Trickster is it's just like I'm trying to think of the best way to describe it. It's like, I think of all the builds I could be playing. I could be playing this, I could be playing that, but why would I do that when I know I just want to play this one other thing? It's one of the reasons why, on some level, Standing Snow Games has a general policy where they don't necessarily immediately give information about new things that are coming out. So, for example, they're pretty bad at advertising when like there's a new feature, new quests, new expansion, new whatever. We usually find out about it with relatively short notice. But the problem with that is that, on the one hand, it's like, oh, it's annoying. There's no hype. How are you supposed to get excited for an expansion coming out? How are you supposed to get excited for a new feature if we don't know about it ahead of time? But on the other hand, now that I know about it ahead of time, oh my god, I just want it. It's so good. Anyways, so we'll get there in time. I did continue thinking about a reasonable variety of character builds. I didn't come out with anything with the Artificer or Bard yet, so I think I'll just have to leave those two blank for now. Although what I didn't do is add those to the Discord. There's my build list. These are all my build ideas. I'm just going to add these to the Discord, so when people ask me what I'm actually doing, it's there. What are my ideas? What are the things that we be doing? So I'm going to post this here. Future build ideas. I'm going to make the post here. And hit this. And then we pin it and we unpin the other one. Pin it. Mostly for my own purposes, I like to keep this information because it's good. And then we remove this old one. Some people are saying that this is the token item. This is the token item. What's so great about it? Okay, so Hallowed Splinters is just a good crossbow, just straight up. So if you're curious about why, oh yeah, I can turn this message off. Whoops, covering the whole screen. There we go. So the reason why this is good in particular is because it grants the Radiant Bolt effect. So you can conjure the Radiant Bolt once you've crafted it. And Conjure Radiant Bolt basically is just a shot that deals additional damage. And as long as you're a crossbow user, you can use it. So Hallowed Splinters itself is good. It's got Mind Tear, which reduces magic resistance rating on enemies, meaning that your holy damage, the Conjure Radiant Bolt, and any other elemental damage you deal on hit. Let's say you use like the Fate Singer Epic Strike, Pluck a String, that deals sonic damage, so it would take extra damage because of the Mind Tear effect. But then the Radiant Bolt, let's say hypothetically you want to use a more modern crossbow, Golden Age crossbow, something like that. Instead, what you can do is you can just put on Hallowed Splinters, conjure the Radiant Bolt, and then swap to another weapon. So you actually don't even have to use this one if you have a better crossbow. It's just a way to get like extra damage for free by conjuring the Radiant Bolt. Additionally, the Radiant Bolt is returning. So it also means you don't have to like reload or do anything silly, which is kind of convenient. A similar item here is for one of the other items on the list called Void. It's a longbow. Void is the same thing, but it summons a freezing arrow, and the freezing arrows can work with anything.
I shall
so that
attend
is
to it
the
in a
reason why
trice.
people do it.
Can't wait to see the wacky multi-class builds for Arcane Trickster.
I know. It's going to be so fun. Also, Sithius, welcome back to the stream team for 24 months. Appreciate the support. Hope you're doing very, very, very good. Yeah, I'm excited about it generally. I think some of the Arcane Trickster stuff is going to be really fun. Is it on the wiki at all? I'm curious. I didn't check. Rogue. Oh, ATR. There it is. So we actually do have Arcane Trickster. This is subject to change because it's based on Lemania. So you can actually already go through this on Lemania, which is kind of cool. So I'm glad that they have that. But yeah, the fact that on tier 3, you can get mixed magics now. So your cast level is equal to your character level. This is for all classes you have. So 3 Arcane Trickster plus like 10 Wizard means you can do a lot of stuff. It's actually one of the reasons why specifically there is the effect that is like, what is it? It's like, back in the day for Magic Missile spammers, there was a build that was called Gold Sharati, and it was 10 Sorcerer, 6 Wizard, one of the common ones. There's a bunch of different versions. There's a Monk one, there's a whole bunch of them. But one of the more common DPS-oriented ones was 10 Sorcerer, 6 Wizard, 4 Favored Soul. And the reason why this split is you wanted Magic Missile from both Wizard and Sorcerer, so that way they're on separate cooldowns, so you can spam them, which is important. But also, you might say 6 Wizard, well, you don't get enough Magic Missiles in your Magic Missile spell, which is true. However, out of Favored Soul from the Angel of Vengeance, there's an ability down here called Intense Faith, which gives you +3 to caster levels of your Fire, Force, Light, and Physical spells, which would make your Wizard, Magic Missile spell-like ability, and Magic Missile spell count as 9th level instead of 6th level. On top of that, you'll be able to pick up the Smiting for the extra crit chance, so you get 8% crit chance out of here. And then you could grab, because you have 6 levels of Wizard, you would grab the top of the Archmage tree here, grabbing Arcane Supremacy, as well as if you wanted, you get the stacking stuff when they added Master of Magic, and some more crit as well. Mostly because these things used to give a disgusting amount of crit. If I recall correctly, the Elemental, or this spell critical, used to give, specifically I believe for Force spells, it was 3%, 3%, 4%, 4%. So if it was 3, 3, 4, 4. So this would give you 8, 14% crit here as well when going up the tree. And then Sorcerer was just for mana.
Quest received.
That was the old build back in the day. I want to try a different version. The one I'm thinking about is 15 Arcane Trickster, 3 Wizard, and 2 Favored Soul. And I'm going to be trying that out when we get the chance. Although I wonder if Matron's Builder already has that, because I'd love to build it out, but I don't know if he's like fully up to date on that one. But yeah, overall, it's just interesting. There's a lot of stuff you can do in terms of here. But yeah, I will at some point in the future be doing something like that. That'll probably be my first character that I put out. My goal is that when Arcane Trickster goes live, I'll have a Arcane Trickster Rogue video for like the basics of what you can do with Arcane Trickster, but then also have my own personal Magic Missile build that I want to put together, because I think it could be kind of fun. I think there's a lot of options with Arcane Trickster. I think pure Arcane Trickster is kind of cool. I think the multi-classes are cool. I think there's a lot of things you can do. For me personally, the reason why I want to put the magic missile build together is I think that's what most people will be excited about for the most part. Like, oh my god, magic missile is back. It's back. And so I wanted to kind of give people the chance to just generally get excited about that. Anyways. Coffee. Hope everybody's doing well and having a good day. Yeah, I can't be excited enough about this. In fact, is the builder, Matrim Builder 2 what's V2 up to date for? Let's see. 2.0.0.73. Spell point breakdown, the mania change preview 2. Okay, so look, it does actually have arcane trickster on here. So you can build around with it. So DDO damage analyzer, the DDO experience. Oh wait, what? Oh, the DPS calculator. Yeah, there's a DPS calculator that they're trying to work into the actual builder, which is kind of cool. Being able to give people some more information. But yeah, interesting. So again, we'll have to see how this actually goes. I want to do some building and kind of some general cookery, but we'll see. 100% scaling. Oh, what it does is it says it increases the damage to a d6 force per sneak attack die, and then it gives Spell Thief increased by 50%. This is just wrong. What it said in game is that you always do d6s, but it's 50% spell power scaling normally. So you apply your full d6, that's 50% spell power scaling, and then this makes it 100% spell power scaling. Functionally, it's the same thing. It's either, if you're either doing a d3 and then doubling it to a d6, or you're doing a d6 with half spell power scaling and the d6 with full spell power scaling. They're functionally the same. It's just different wording. I think maybe the full spell power scaling is technically worse than if it was better. No, worse. Better, because that means that if you have less spell power, it's more effective. But I don't know. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Point is, it's still powerful. I had to think about that for a second. Do the math. But yeah, I'm excited for this. I think it's going to be a good time. I'm really looking forward to getting the chance to kind of monkey about with Arcane Trickster. I'm going to just staring at it. Like right now, in game, my current character build, I am rocking a 2-weapon fighter Dragon Lord here, just because Dragon Lord is cool. Or not Dragon Lord, Dragon Disciple. Kind of wanted to go more of the caster route, so my character actually does have a lot of the caster abilities. We've got Draconic Devastation, which is key. We got another Draconic Devastation. We got another Draconic Devastation, another Draconic Devastation. Because again, the goal here is just to have as many of these as physically possible. On top of that, I went with Dragon Breath. We grabbed the Breath DCs, Acolyte's Breath. And the goal is basically to do enough melee attacks to get key, but I'm mostly just knocking everything down with spells. You do have the option to take other types of spells. You can take Delayed Blast Fireball, you can take Chain Lightning, but because of the extra bonuses to Breath DCs, it just seemed like it would be the most impactful thing. So that's kind of what I decided to go with because of the increase to your Breath DCs, because out of Dragon Disciple, you do get +2 to Breath and Concentration, Evocation, Transmutation. So it's technically like an extra +2, and there's more Breath Weapon DCs you can get, as I believe, Past Lives, Heroic. Fighter Dragon Lord gives +1 Breath Weapon DC. So that's there. And Dragon Disciple grants -1 spell point cost to maximize metamagic. Dang, dude, that's kind of cool. And +1 attack, and Fighter is also +1 attack. So with these, you can get +6 to attack passively. Oh, man. I do have a lot of past lives. I've got what? I haven't gone through this character in a little while. We've got three Alchemist already? Dang, okay. 3 Artificer as well? Wow. +1 to all intelligence-based skills in UMD. 1 Barb, 1 Bard. 3 Cleric? I didn't know I had that much Cleric. Okay. 2 Druid, allegedly. Favorite Soul gives me Spell Pen and some extra mana. 1 Fighter. 2 Dragon Lord. 1 Monk. Soon, I don't know if I'm going to do a Dragon Disciple life or an Azamar life. I'm not sure. 3 Paladin. Paladin's excellent. It gives you 30 healing amp, which is great. Sacred Fist gives you more healing amp, but it also gives you spell power. It's just kind of worse than Paladin. which is kind of par for the course with Sacred Fist. I don't have any Dark Hunter, but I do have Ranger. We have regular 1 Rogue, only 2 Sorcerer. Interesting. 3 Warlock, 1 Acolyte of the Skin, and 1 Wizard. I'm surprised I only have 2 Sorcerer. Evocation is kind of like, I mean, it's just fun to play, but yeah. Interesting. And then my racial past lives. We have Dampier Run. I believe I am an Azamar. Oops. I believe I'm an Azamar. Yeah. So if I go here... I don't even have any Azamar lives. This is my first Azamar life. Interesting. But I'm already to Tabaxi. I've got Shifter 2, Tiefling 2. Dang, okay. So I think maybe next time I'm just going to force myself to do a Halfling and get out of the way because I hate playing Halflings. And it'll give me an extra racial point. Because, like, god damn, that's funny. I didn't realize that that's what I was missing. I have so many things at 2. Because I just don't think about it, but I do have a lot of past lives in this character. 35 Heroic, 39 Epic, 22 Racial, 14 Iconic. Now, eventually, I will actually hit a weird point where I will have all of the Epic past lives, because I currently have 39 Epic, and I believe there's only 48. Let me just double check here. I believe there's only 48 Epic past lives. So that's 15... plus 12 is 27, plus, 15 is 42, plus 12 is 54. Okay, so it's 54. All right, so I got quite a long way to go. Why does it say DDM? It's Dragon Disciple Monk. They always use 3 letters for everything, and Dragon Disciple doesn't really fit anywhere, so they use DDM. Fortunately, the electrician was quite good, who came yesterday. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention this, but yes, sorry about kind of ending the stream rather abruptly yesterday. Long story short, we had an electrician coming over to look at some of our lights and things around around the actual house, because there's a lot of fixtures that just weren't functioning, unfortunately, and so we knew it was something that we had to deal with, but it got to the point where like a couple of lights actually just literally stopped working entirely. So we had an electrician come take a look, because I'm not an electrician and I don't want to die not unplugging things, but putting a screwdriver into a electrical area. So the guy came in bulbs because they require a lot of power to get going. So it charges and then it puts the power through. The ballasts that we had were basically just like 20 or like, not 20, like 30, 40 years old. And so they're just a little out of date. And so they just needed to be replaced. He noticed because he tells me, he's like, oh, it's, yeah, you can tell because it's leaking, or he's like, it's leaking tar. That's how you can tell you got to replace it because the tar is coming out. And I'm like this is you're like, you're a metaphor. It's like there's some type of thing coming out, not like this tar coming out of my electrical components. And he's like, no, yeah, it's tar. And so basically the way the ballast worked is they have all the electrical that gets power, and then they need a heat sink. So the heat sinks that they used back in the day is they would just put the electrical on a panel, then put some metal around it, fill up the little casing with tar, and then slip a cover on. And then the tar gets heated and it gets melty. But that's fine because it's absorbing the heat, and then when you turn the light off, it cools down and it goes solid again. Which I didn't know that's how they did that. Anyways, the new ballasts, what they use is they just use like more modern heat sinks and air to cool off, which I thought was very interesting. Anyways, the main reason why it took longer and there was extra stuff going, because none of that takes like a terribly long amount of time to do. Again, I'm paraphrasing, I'm not an electrician, but basically there was an issue with several of the different switches. Apparently the people that did the electrical in this place initially, instead of actually using like splitters to split lines, where basically you split a cable into multiple cables, instead they decided to use that with the switches. So the electrical switches, which meant instead of splitting the line and then diverting the power in different directions, all the power goes into a switch, and then they divert it that way, which caused one of our switches to not work because over just years of wear and tear, but also it can be kind of dangerous to have them going the wrong way. So we had to get a bunch of switches changed, and then that necessitated actually turning off the power in this space here as well. So I had to turn the stream off. So I do apologize for that, for the short notice. I thought it was just going to be like, one and done, and comes in, switches the things, and we're all set. Because I knew I knew the ballasts were the problem. But as it turns out, much like it is with a lot of things, it's really easy until you open up a wall or you open up a thing to be like, yeah, we're going to do this, no problem. And then he pulls out the switch and he's like, yeah, this is a problem. We can't do this. Servers are up? Yeah, servers are up. Which I thought was kind of funny. He was actually telling me the other day about how he was doing a job somewhere else, and it was a very simple job. It was like just mount a TV on a wall. And so if you're going to mount a TV, you got to obviously put in the mount, but then you want to run cable through the wall so that way you can like have everything wired into the TV mount. And so, he goes to like put the hole in the wall. And it turns out that the hole, or like the wall, is actually like 4 inches thick because it's some like really old plaster. And there's like no space behind the wall. And so he's like, well, can't do this right now. Because, you come in thinking, okay, I'm going to drill a hole in drywall and run some cable. And it's like, oh, there's, this thick of plaster. I guess we'll just come back later when I have the proper tools. So, again, it's you don't know what you're going to see until you get there. Which, again, is pretty common. It's the reason why a lot of times when similar example, say you have a problem with your car, you can describe it to a mechanic and say, hey, here's the problem with my car. Can you fix it? And they'll say, okay, well, why don't you bring your car in and we'll take a look. Because on the one hand, it might be like, they're trying to gouge me. They're not trying to give me a good price. So they don't want to tell me. On the other hand, sometimes you open the car and it's not good. Same thing when somebody goes like, hey, Shrim, what's the, how should I do this? And it's like, well, I need to know a lot more information. Tell me about this. Tell me about this. Tell me about this. What are we looking at? Tell me about this. And a simple question can be a lot more complicated than you might otherwise think when it comes to a DDO build. Anyway, all that is to say, I do apologize for kind of ending the stream slightly earlier. I do apologize for that one. So hopefully you guys had a good time. Weird time to walk in. I was just describing what happened. But yeah, so we're just going to do some leveling. We're going to do some hanging out. And I'm going to be mentally prepping for Arcane Trickster. Beyond mentally prepping for Arcane Trickster, my goal is also to checking for raids. Looking for Bottled Rainstorm, Mark of Death. I mean, I could do a raid. I don't really want to do a raid. Hunter Be Hunted plus Deathworm. I don't need this raid either. Kind of just going to join a dungeon. I don't really need to do one of these. R10 Barovia. I don't really want to do R10 Barovia, I'm going to be honest with you. Lod Chain, Search and Rescue, R6 Higher, plus others for Saga. I have to make my own group? Damn it. I'll do that. Only 67? Yeah. I mean, I'm level 20. So we're getting there. I think I have some reasonable stuff. I've got my Circlet of Shard that gives me 6 wisdom because it's got the Solar Gem for +2 artifact, 3 wisdom, and +1 insightful. Not too shabby. Although this one is actually just strictly better because it's got wisdom, insightful wisdom there. You can do better than this if you use epic sun and moon gems, which is a weird thing to think about. But yeah, you can do a little bit better if you want to get some of that. But it's fine. We'll get more stats later. Anyway, I'll throw up an LFM and we'll get going. We'll do some questing. I just figured I'd give you guys kind of the lowdown of what happened. Do I want to do Hunter Be Hunted on hard mode first? You know what? I do. I do want to do Hunter Be Hunted. Doing raids to start is a fun way to start the day. Good way to like wake up the memory banks, you know. Let's go do a raid. I still don't know what outfit I'm gonna actually use on this character, so we'll see. I really like the Corvid outfit though. I can't remember the name of the set, but I do like the outfit. Whee. Litany of the Dead book. Oh yeah, I guess you can't convert the Litany of the Dead that we're going to be able to get for free into an augment. So if you still want it, you're going to have to go farm it out. Unlucky. Hit him with the hell high, and then away we go. Please tell me I don't have to make the walk. Please tell me I don't have to make the walk. Please tell me I don't have to make the walk. Please tell me I don't have to make the walk. Quarter of the Wild Hunt. Okay, we're good. Whew. Quiver can be upgraded, yeah. I actually really like the winter cosmetic. It just doesn't fit on my character because my character is kind of like I'm going for that spooky like warlock look, so I don't really want to use the Viking outfit. I have some builds I want to use that for in the future. There's the cold. I'm playing. There's a couple cold druid builds I want to play. One of which is a 11 druid, 8 dragon lord, 1 warlock. I'm gonna call it the wolf lord, and it's basically like a winter wolf build that uses the cold bypass from like dragon lord and focuses heavily on cold damage, which would be kind of fun. So that one would be kind of interesting. I kind of want to do like, I would love to do a cold bard build, but I don't know how to get that done with like maybe adding Winterwolf in there, or maybe just wear the Skyrim outfit, go some Fusro Da, do all shouting. Also gonna commander my buddies last night. Ooh, that sounds fun. Yeah, after I last night after the electrician was done with everything, I did some more work on some video editing. So like I said, you guys are going to get the rest of the beginner, or not beginner basics, the solo guided artificer is uploaded, and it's all just like slowly partitioning and coming out now. And then I'm actually going to be getting out my thoughts and opinions about the Fae event relatively soon, which I'm excited for. Yeah, it's exclamation point cold druid should give you a build, if I recall correctly. Also, I don't know why I'm like my voice is not listening to me today. Oh god. Hot druid? Nah, nobody plays fire druid. That'd be cool if somebody did. But sadly, nobody has ever played one.
A new challenge.
I was like, is this floaty? Okay, so I'm curious what people will be playing. So we have a half-orc, we have an Azamar Scourge, we have an Eladrin, Azamar, Tabaxi, Dampier Dark Bargainer, Purple Dragon Knight, Tabaxi Trailblazer, Sun Elf. So we only have one repeated race, and it's the Dampier Dark Bargainer, because me and the other Warlock are both Dampier Dark Bargainers. Wait, that's an Eladrin Warlock. Oh, we have 2 Warlocks. So isn't that neat? They releasing a iconic druid, are they? Oh, and we also have a Deep Gnome. Everybody's playing a different race. That is so weird. Like seeing people, not like, it's not weird seeing people playing like different races of characters all the time. But it is also, this is a pure Artificer Purple Dragon Knight? Dude, neato. Oh, hell yeah. With Macrotech Epic Mantle. That's cool. So yeah. It's just neat seeing like the character diversity in DDO right now is very, very high, which is something I'm really excited about. Like, I think it's really easy to fall in the trap of like believing everyone is playing the same thing all the time, but people play different stuff all the time. It's really cool. What would you say is most popular? I got Completionist now for a beastly endgame build. The most popular? I mean, if you want to just do something that's really powerful, repeating crossbow and or shuriken can steer you no wrong right now. Those are very, very strong, very popular builds as of right now. Inquisitive, repeating crossbow, and shuriken. All of them will serve you well. I know one of those cards. Sacred Fist using Bastard Swords and then cried. You can, because you have to be centered. So you can get centered while using Bastard Swords. You would need to multi-class Sacred Fist and Fighter. And then in T5 of Kensai, you can get centered while using Bastard Swords. The only downside to this is it basically means you're playing Kensai and not Sacred Fist. So you're either doing 12, 6, or 5. probably, or starting at 12, 6, or 5, 8, 6, or 5 fighter to get this going. Now, if you do 5 fighter, then that means that you can go T5 of the tree and get all the good stuff. You can still get Holy Sword out of Paladin, out of Sacred Fist, and still get it as a centered weapon, which is an option. The problem is it doesn't kick in until later. So you'd want to do that as like an iconic. So you'd want to go like Purple Dragon Knight, which gives you the charisma bonuses anyway, because Purple Dragon Knight has a thing where you get charisma to hit and damage built in with like bastard swords and what have you, which you already get on another character. But yeah, you do like 5 fighter, 10 Sacred Fist on a Purple Dragon Knight. Start with the 5 fighter, or like maybe space out whatever you want, and yeah, it can work. It can get some stuff done. It really doesn't come online until 20, but it is what it is. It's Stramtam. Yo, what's up, Julian? How you doing? Is Ball Milk ranged? No. Well, it's in Pathfinder, it's ranged for sure. So yeah. You would need more fighter to get the top, because that is tied into having greater weapon focus, unfortunately, which is level 8. But, you know, who needs health? It's only 25%. Can casters handle corner trash? Yeah, sure. Sure. Guys end up tanking. We just have to have the trick with this raid in particular is if you have enough damage, no one tanks. Did I get my electrical situation sorted out? I did. I started the stream by telling the whole story, but TLDR, it was just the classic case of, okay, let's have a look, and then, yeah, we're gonna have to do a little bit more than this. Which I'm sure many of you have experienced. But something I would change about the game, right off the top of my head, I would get rid of Ransack Penalty. Ransack Penalty is a penalty that makes it so that when you loot a chest 8 times, the chest no longer gives you rare or named loot anymore. Which means that if you're farming an item from an adventure, so let's say, for example, you would like to farm out the legendary socket band, which comes from a quest in Lamortia, if you don't pull it after 8 tries, you have to wait 1 week before you can try again. And that makes me sad and angry, because I like just mindlessly farming for billions of years to get the items that I want. It's like literally put the time in, you'll get the thing you want. Whereas the current system, because it doesn't necessarily do that, it's not put the time in and you get the thing you want. Instead, it's put the time in, and then if you're lucky, you get the thing you want. Ransack shouldn't exist at all. I can't think of a single reason why Ransack should exist in the game at all. So is this guy? Razor Claw Shifter. Literally everybody except for me and one other person. We have, in our 12 players, we have 11 different Eberron races here. Trailblazer, Deep Gnome, Purple Dragon Knight, Dark Bargainer, Azamar, another Dark Bargainer, Azamar Scourge. Oh, we have 2 Trailblazers? Oh, I thought we had 2 regular Tabaxi, 2 Trailblazers. Damn, we only have 10. A Sun Elf. A Sun Elf Pure Paladin? Champion? Sick. Dude, this game is so cool sometimes.
The master of the hunt has created several challenges for what he calls his tournament. Once
I'll quit turning rewards more often.
enter the arena.
Yeah. The quest turn-ins are really useful if it's your first time playing through the game, and much less useful if it's not your first time playing through the game.
The master of the hunt nods to you from behind the barrier. Now that your group is assembled, the first of the
Okay, I'm gonna debuff the boss, and then I'm gonna go and kill ads. Yo, what's up, Part-Times? How you doing?
enters
Yep.
brandishing her blade with a grim expression.
Maybe I just get him right away.
The skull-headed town manifests nearby.
There he is, fully debuffed. Get out of here, pixies. Honestly, I should probably just take care of the ads entirely. It's probably the easiest way to do it.
The master of the hunt speaks at last.
Did you see materials silver? You please request 100 times. They just have to get rid of ransack. It solves all these problems. We can like come up with 100,000 solutions for like solving the problem of getting rid of ransack. The problem is the simplest, fastest, easiest, most direct route is just getting rid of ransack.
Rises once more, shaking off its apparent death. Death is only temporary.
Death is only temporary. I mean, death is like maybe temporary if you're a fake creature, maybe.
Always catch them out.
Purple Dragon Knight, Forgotten Realms, deities, and Bastard Sword. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Should I test week in a ransack and see how much money they make off shard rerolls? Again, somebody brought up the idea of like, in the event that they do actually do something like that, then technically, based on like the EU rules, there's like no limit on like the amount of gambling, or effectively becomes gambling because it's like a slot machine you can keep re-rolling. Which again, I don't know how accurate that is, but I don't know. It sounds right. I'm not a lawyer.
Filled with deadly traps. He activates them as he begins to fight.
I do feel it's the reason. Yeah. Again, I don't buy the idea that it's like because of some stand, like moral stand of like we don't want people to farm as much, we don't want people to get ahead, because you can buy your way to get ahead. That's the only reason. It's like if we couldn't buy rerolls and you couldn't buy like a ransack reset potion, I would buy the idea that it's like, oh well, you know, people will just like grind themselves to death, and that's a bad thing. So maybe it's like a way to slow people down so they don't like grind themselves to death playing this video game. But again, if that was true, then you wouldn't be able to buy your way around these systems, which you can do. Yeah, people log off occasionally and keep people coming back and subscribed. Yeah, I agree. Where is... I'm just sticking down here because eventually she's going to respawn. Goodbye. Eventually, I will find her. Or I won't. And I'll just keep killing Wild Hunt Protectors over and over. Anything less rolls on it? Simpler? No, guys, just come into my mind palace. In my mind palace, it's just simpler if it doesn't exist. The downside is I have unfortunately not found Pamora here. She's never spawned in the southern section, but I have cleared it, so if she did spawn, you'd be able to find her really easily. Nothing to worry about losing me till I die. Yeah, and that's the other thing too, is that like, especially a lot of the long-term DDO players, the people that are the most invested in the game, I don't know. I just think that like, the idea that if you want to get an item, the best way to get the item is playing the game is good design. We can disagree on that. I think that that's personally good design. That if you want to get an item, if you want to make a change or like get something inside the video game, the best way to get a thing inside the video game is to play the video game. That's what I like. It makes it as simple as possible. If I want to get a thing, make a video game. Or like make it so I play the video game when I get a thing. Are checking out your pally, purple pally bid. What are Twists of Fate? That's a very old build. Twists of Fate aren't in the game anymore, unfortunately, cussy words, so don't worry about it. Also, what's up, Dorito? How you doing? With Fortune inserted MMR, will Evil Blast no longer be the de facto way to play Warlock? You'll have more options now, for sure. It's exactly hard to say what the best way to play Warlock will be. But yes, I do think that since you can now effectively use force damage, I do think that exclusively running it as evil is not going to be the only way to play Warlock. He's dead. Remember, it's correct that ransack people were speeding easy chest for loot resistant named item meta now. Yeah, again, it's just the best way to get loot in the game is to spend like, you know, $100 in astral shards and go reroll. And oh, I got the Phantom Steed. I don't know if anybody wants it, but they can have it. That's fun. And nothing.
I don't have enough fingers and toes to count this high.
Honestly, that's kind of disappointing. I really thought you would have enough fingers and toes to count that high, Teg. You gotta get some grafts. There's a video game called Legend of Zelda Elden Ring, and in that one, there's this guy called Godfroy the Grafted, and what he does is he puts like extra arms and legs on his body, and he gives you the ability to here you go, Artines Grets. He gives himself the ability to have more arms and legs, and that could be very helpful for you in the future of being able to count that high. But since you can't, 74 months is a really long time, and hopefully you'll be able to get there someday. Thank you so much for the support. 74 months is crazy. It's actually a ridiculous number. I don't understand, dude. I don't understand. Oh my god. That is such a long time. Also, this guy ripped 2 Phantom Steeds. He got one out of both chests. That's really funny. Okay. Temple of Deathworm next. Do I need Temple of Deathworm? Am I flagged for Temple of Deathworm? That is an excellent question. I'm assuming they'll just flag everybody, but yeah. Oh, we'll flag first. Oh, reading chat explains chat. I don't like to do that, though. I like to kind of just assume things. Just make quick general assumptions about how things are going. You know, they released the final notes, Arcane Trickster. We still don't know what's happening with the Thief Acrobat defensive role. They're just going to change it to something else. They already said they're going to change it to something else. Whatever it is just going to be fine. I mean, to be fair, defensive role is kind of... The problem with defensive role is actually not that it's bad. I'm going to rephrase this. I was about to say defensive role is kind of mid. It's actually not. It's actually quite good. The problem with defensive role is that it's in bad trees.
There are fresh footprints in the dust.
That's really the bigger problem, is that it's in bad trees. So, like, the improved defensive role being in Thief Acrobat sucks, because Thief Acrobat kind of sucks. Not because improved defensive role is bad. Similar situation to, I believe it's also in, not one of the Barbarian trees. There's another tree where improved defensive role is in. It's not Ranger. Is it just Thief Acrobat? Ooh. Either way, point still stands. It's in a bad tree. What are you going to do? So they do have to change it because you can no longer get defensive role at all as a Arcane Trickster. Because defensive roll is pretty bad. Improved defensive roll is not horrible because it basically means while you're under half, you can make a reflex save to cut your damage in half, which is actually quite good. Fundamentally, it's actually pretty similar to how the Shadow works in Star Wars The Old Republic, which is kind of neat. They are doing a little bit to Thief Acrobat. They're actually making a change to allow strength, dex, or intelligence affect the staff sweep, which is really, really good. What about deproved defensive roll? Oh, deproved as opposed to improved? Ugh. Unlucky. Yeah, so we'll see. Oh yeah, Alchemist too. Yeah, and Tabaxi. Yeah. Hey, what's up? Need more chai? How are you? They just need to change the effect in the tree to make it something else. Honestly, they should just let it ride. Just make it not tied to improved defensive roll and just let it go. That'd be even better. We're going to play the SWTOR expansion? No, I'm not going to play the SWTOR expansion. I haven't played SWTOR since 2020 because in 2020, the coronavirus pandemic happened and I was locked in my house, and like many of you. And during that time, I was also working a job in which when the pandemic hit, we were all sent home from work, and it was on a Friday. And somebody I worked with at the time was like, hey, it's going to be a nightmare getting out of here, because they were sending everybody home. And that was when, like, you know, people were freaking out about this stuff, like, right away. Like, there was, like, the first news of, like, hey, this is being a serious thing. So he's like, hey, I'll just give you a ride home. Don't worry about it. And I was like, okay, well, I was going to hit the beer store on the way. And he's like, oh, good idea. You know, stock up, have some beers for the weekend. And I'm like, yeah. So I go into the store, and other people also had a similar idea of grabbing some beers for the weekend. Except there were full stacks of the beer Corona that was just chilling. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to buy some Corona. So that was also conveniently the start of a new Path of Exile league. I can't remember which league. And so I went home and I streamed myself playing
and one of the huge doorways opens.
The new Path of Exile league at the time, farming an Oni Goroshi, which is why I actually still have that character, World First Oni, and it's a chieftain. I farmed Oni Goroshi on it. Not really relevant to the story I'm telling. But during that time, after we got sent home, Monday morning rolls around, I sent an email to my boss. And I go, hey boss, what do you want to do? And he goes, well, you know, we're still working on some stuff. Just hang tight. I'm like, okay, sounds good. And then he didn't reply to any of my emails for 3 weeks. So I got paid to sit at home. And he did not, literally didn't respond for like 3 weeks to anything I said. And so I needed something to do. And Wrath, actually at the time, was like, yo, I'm playing SWTOR. You should try SWTOR as well. And so I did. And I hadn't had a chance to play it. I do like BioWare games. So, you know, I'm a big fan of Knights of the Old Republic. So the Old Republic seems good. And yeah, it was a blast. It's a lot of fun. I played through the storyline for the Juggernaut, the storyline for the Sorcerer, the Sith Adept, whatever the magic one is. The Disc Priest one. The one that's just literally word for word Disc Priest. And then, what was the other one? The agent, I think, or the operative, the other healer, the one where you shoot people with your gun to heal them.
Scoffs the emissary.
Very well then, let the dead take their place.
The emissary calls out for more aid.
Guardians, protect us!
This changes nothing.
Gasps the emissary.
We do not matter. The future belongs to the world.
Oh right, I have to recall out. I need a flag. So good. It can't work. Trooper? No, I didn't play Trooper. It's like the agent. I don't want to spoil the agent too much, but if you have never played Star Wars: The Old Republic, it is 100% worth it to play the agent storyline, because it is just so good. To give you the most basic thing to intrigue you in why you should play it, the game opens and your character is like interacting and talking with people and doing stuff, and you're having fun, and you're like, it like just gives you the intro where you're like talking to a guy in a shop, and then you step outside and you whip out your phone, like your communicator, and start talking to your superiors in a completely different accent. And I was like, oh, they put time and effort into this. And so your character is constantly disguising themselves when you're doing stuff. It's really cool. It's a really cool campaign. I did spoil like literally the first 30 seconds. So I apologize for spoiling the first 30 seconds. Played another exclusively Imperial side. Yeah, I did. I played exclusively Imperial. I didn't play any of the Republic or Jedi.
They used Joseph like their precious temple. Dagon hated them, of course, because he loved me as his god. But dwarves are stubborn things. Until you strip them down.
Yeah, if you want to play if you're like bored, it's also free too. So if you just want to play a good single player game, like just a good classic BioWare single player game, SWTOR main campaign of each of the classes is really good. The only downside is it is basically just World of Warcraft. So if you don't like World of Warcraft, the character classes are 1-to-1 copied from World of Warcraft. which, depending on who you are, may or may not be a bad thing. But yeah. Oh, dude, one of my favorite parts about playing as the Sith Sorceress is the number of times where, like, because the first time I played through the game, I played through as the Juggernaut. And the Juggernaut, when you deal with a lot of people, you're usually like directly talking to them, getting aggressive, doing whatever. Bro, the number of times where as I was playing as the Sorcerer or whatever, I was like, I'd be like, oh, you're talking to you have your dialogue wheels, and then one of your dialogue wheels just says shock 'em is awesome. So like you're needed to get something done, and some Imperial's mouthing off to you, being like, I don't have to listen to you, Sith bastards. And you're like, no problem. And you just blast them. And they're like, okay, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that. One of my favorite storylines in the Sith or the Sith Sorcerer storyline is you have to get like some intel, or basically you need to get to like some ship that's at the bottom of a lake of like toxic sewage, and to get there you need the Imperial support, because they basically have like a submarine that can take you through the toxic waste material to get into this toxic lake. I'm paraphrasing, I'm missing a lot of details, don't worry about it. So you go up and talk to this guy, and he's one of the Imperials, and he's like, listen, I want to help you out. I cannot currently commit the resources to you right now because unfortunately one of our own operatives, in fact a Sith, has been taken capture. This Sith is my son, and I need you to go get him because number one, I need him rescued. Number two, he's one of our important operatives. Number three, he has too much information, and if they get into the Republic hands, they could do something bad about it. So you have like a reasonable reason as to why you should go save the Sith. So you go, bust through all the defenses, kill everybody, break your way into the camp, go into the prison where he's being held, and you get to talk to the Sith, the guy's son. And the son is like, oh, geez, finally they sent somebody to get me here. And I was like listening to this guy, like being like, you know, like basically complaining that it took so long to rescue him, being like, if you were actually a good Sith, you'd have rescued yourself. And then he's like, yeah, I don't take kindly to being talked to like that. So he tried to fight me. Unfortunately, he failed to realize I fought the entire fortress. So he dies by my hand. And so I go back to the Imperial commander, and I'm like, hey, anyway, problem solved. We don't have to worry about any intel getting out. I killed your son. Give me my submarine now. At which point, the guy is like, no, I am not going to help you. You killed my son. You did all this. Get out of my sight. I'm doing nothing for you. And at which point, my character's like, no problem. And just starts shocking him, and then shocks him to death with lightning. Then turns head to the second in command guy and just goes, do you have a son I need to kill? And he goes, no, we'll get that transport set up for you right away. Just the answer of the person just being like, my character's like, do you have a son I have to kill? No, it's all good. We're fine. It was amazing. So yeah, it's excellent. And again, that is just one of the many different elements of the story. There's so many funny things. Guild when? Never. I only played it basically as like a solo experience, and then I did what were they called? Ops. Did some ops, did some flashpoints, did every single, at least at the time, this is 2020, so I don't know what it was, but I did every single flashpoint on the highest difficulty, and then did a couple ops, and then kind of like petered out in my interest overall. I mean, yeah, that's one of the basic things. One of the reasons why I appreciate the story and the dealings with the Empire is that if you're wondering why I'm not helping, it's because people are solving puzzles and there's nothing to do. And I don't know how to do this puzzle as good as these people. Is that you learn really quickly that the Empire is successful in spite of the Sith, not because of it. Like, they got the Sith running around doing stuff, but most of the time what the Sith do is kill each other and also kill important Imperial commanders. but the Empire can't do anything about it because there's too many of them and they're too powerful. Like 100%, all of the Imperials, if they could kick the Sith out, they absolutely would, but they can't. Which is amazing. It's so funny. Because again, almost 100% of the time, if you're a Sith, you're not helping. So yeah, it's good.
Do you think I have adventurers into my lair before just to take
Yeah.
their things?
Plus also, then you have Kem Val, who is like your sidekick, who all he wants to do is eat Sith user or eat Force users, because that's what he does. So every time you go somewhere, you talk to somebody, and they're just like, it's some other Sith who's mouthing off to you, and then he's like, "Can I eat them?" They're like, "What?" It's good. So yeah, it's a good time. Can recommend. If you have not had the chance, again, just because it's free, like because SWTOR is 100% free. Well, it's not 100% free. There's like, oh yeah, I forgot. There's like no wall here. I just fell through the floor. That's cool. Whatever, you can walk back up. Something I forgot to mention as well. It's not like 100% free. There's like a freemium. So it's just like DDO where there's like a premium. So you have to, if you buy one thing forever, you get to keep a whole bunch of features. So the best way to play SWTOR is if you play entirely solo, you don't have to worry about it at all. But if you don't do any like end game or even mild group content, what you do is you pay for like 1 month of premium of like the premium service, and then you just cancel immediately, and the 1 month gets you basically everything.
Day I slaughtered Dagon and his kin.
How do I open this door again? There's a way to open the door. I don't remember. I fell. Is it this lever? I think it's this lever. I think it's this. I think we opened this door. Somewhere in here. There it is. It's been a little while since I've done this raid. Agent's amazing. Big fan.
The temple's
Does that mean
third
effects
floor
would
is
normally apply
uneasily
to? Yes,
still.
exactly.
Argyrasa is not
It
here.
turns your things that are not Fey into Fey creatures, which means that undead and constructs, which are normally stun immune, lose their stun immunity because that's part of their undead traits or the construct traits. Ooh.
Fools. Treated.
Free if you want to play the base story missions every class. Yeah, the base missions are free for everybody. Changing that whole turn into Fey thing. They're changing it so that it doesn't work on red names and raid bosses, and they're changing it specifically because red names and raid bosses have a major problem where almost all of them are undead or like some type of outsider, and so if you don't if you turn them away from being undead or an evil outsider, then paladins lose a bunch of damage, and a bunch of people complain because like you can grief like paladins and rangers. Not every ranger is going to have like Fey as a favorite enemy, which means anybody who's stacking favorite enemies, specifically rangers, they get usually like 22 to 24 flat damage, 22 to 26 flat damage just from favorite enemies alone, on top of extra other stats. So like it is pretty bad because you get 6 favorite enemies normally, which is 12. If you go Deepwood Stalker, you get an extra +2 per favorite enemy. So I think it's even higher than that. Like, it's really, really crazy how much damage you lose if you don't have the proper favorite enemy. The answer is obviously just like, we'll just get Fey, but not everybody's going to take enemy of my enemy to get the Fey in epics. Yeah. Hey, we got it. I'm so glad people in here know how to do it.
Portals flicker in 2 of the 3 doorways before you. Though it is empty and still,
Combat tower.
you cannot shake the feeling that you are being watched.
But yeah, at the end of the day, they're changing it so that it's not going to work on red names and stuff, so you don't get griefed, which I think is a better option. does high burst? Not me. I have high sustain.
Energy. The magical barrier has returned.
I was wondering if DDO made archers had their abilities that had cool animations instead of just another auto attack. What? Sorry, I was wondering what if DDO made archers that had their abilities and cool animations? Was archers fun of the game's hitting abilities be a harder hitting auto attack? Well, I mean, I too like the idea of having like a sick ass Legolas sort of moment where your character like does a backflip 20 feet in the air and then shoots their arrows straight down and does something cool. The best example I can think of is most recently Path of Exile 2. With their bow combat has a lot of really slick bow abilities. One of them is you literally run and jump forward. So you run, jump forward, and then you shoot downwards. You shoot like an explosion, and you kind of bounce off of it like a grenade jump. So like that's cool. I don't hate a lot of that. The main issue is there's just no cool animation for a lot of the stuff. I think honestly it's just a limitation of the tech that they don't have a lot of interesting animations. They redid the bow stuff, but they don't have a lot of like cool animation sets. To be fair, DDO doesn't really have a lot of cool animation sets. I'm not saying that we shouldn't have it or that people shouldn't advocate for it or want it. It is traditionally we don't have that. Whenever a new ability comes out, 99% of the time, it is just something that uses an existing animation. So for example, Dragon Lord gets the Dragon Breath. It looks cool, or the Dragon Roar, but it's just a regular roar that we've already had, like it's a regular breath attack. So it's the same thing. Bow closer to crossbow. Main shot 8 seconds, get 20% damage boost. The main problem is that bows just fire slower, and they need to solve that problem. They need to give bows a niche. What is that niche? I don't know, but bows just fire slower. It doesn't matter if you improve the increasing the recharge rate of many shot just makes it more reliant on many shot. It doesn't actually make it feel better or do more damage. Generally. Anyway, for the record, I'm not saying they shouldn't add better animations. I would love that. I think it'd be so cool. I love when bow characters have like sick animations. So I really, really do like when you have good animations for bow stuff. It's actually one of the reasons that I really enjoy playing in Path of Exile 1. I enjoy using several bow skills, one of which is Uldarge. I just kill this guy. But I really enjoy playing several of the bow characters, specifically Rain of Arrows, because I love the watching my character shoot straight upwards. Same thing in Lord of the Rings Online. Some of the hunter animations look great. Shadows. Uldarges, dragon guys, blah, blah. Yeah, it's pretty much that we don't have cool animations anywhere. Like, there's no cool crossbow animations. There's no cool, like, pretty much any animations. That's just kind of the part for the course. The ruin feel cool of arcs. I agree. Oh. Oh. Is this pretty much the only thing that's cool animations? Yep, I agree. I mean, you make a line. If you've never done this before, you literally make a line. Oh, it's done. Nice job. You make a line, and basically you're trying to find the real phylactery, and so you just kind of go in over and over and over, where you go into the thing, and one person goes in, they blow it up, and they get kicked out, then it makes a new zone, and the next person goes in. So you're kind of just doing that in a repeated fashion to go get the gems from the phylactery. This end fight can be very fast or very slow, depending on if people listen. What is this build? This is my pure warlock that I made for doing maximum DPS. I'm still missing 2 items, so my stats are lower than I would like. And then we'll do some real DPS testing, but yeah, we'll have to get there. Would mean not fast animations. That is the other thing too. Admittedly, I think of a lot of games. So Elder Scrolls Online has some really sick animations. Like, dude, some of the animations in Elder Scrolls are so fucking cool, man. I love the animations in Elder Scrolls Online. You want to know the best way to play Elder Scrolls Online? Cutting every animation so that you can't see any of it. That's literally how it works. You just animation cut everything. You just animation cut your whole life. Okay, so now we're good. So now we gotta pull the dragon and then get him. No, I'm paralyzed. No. I think we have enough. Can we kill it?
With another roar, calls forth more shadows.
Yeah, it's 1, 2, 3, 4. It's all done.
Battered from your assault, Argla Larasa
Yeah, and
collapses
laser
to
it.
the ground.
Laser.
The Dracolich rises again, reinvigorated.
Was she in the wrong spot? Did we not laser it? What?
With another roar, Argla Larasa calls forth more shadows.
No, we gotta use the laser.
Battered from your assault,
Laser.
Argla Larasa
Laser.
collapses to the ground.
Oh my god. Who's on laser duty? They're not doing it fast enough.
With another roar, Argla Larasa, battered from your assault, Argla Larasa collapses to the ground. With another roar, Argla Larasa calls forth more
Yeah, move her back maybe a little bit. I don't know.
Battered
Move the.
from your
So if you don't know how this raid
Argla
works,
Larasa
yeah, she's just not in the center. The way this works is that you just get her. This is her shards of her phylactery, and we use it to blast her. So you just gotta move her more center. Come on. She'll move. Just give her some time. That might be close enough. She did move forward. There we go. That's definitely enough. Yeah, it's good now. It's good now. It's good now.
Battered from your assault,
Get her.
Argla
Laser.
Argla Larasa's defenses down.
Argla Rolasa.
Strike the Dracolich, tearing through her
The bows are too slow. Why not just increase the damage per shot? Great question. I don't know. You feel the same power the level the entire time. You don't necessarily feel the same power level the entire time. So, like, I do agree and disagree with that. On the one hand, you do feel the same power level because obviously as you level up, your power actually goes down relative to the monsters and you have to use items to keep up. So if anything, you actually become less powerful. For example, at the start, you have like 20,000 of all main stats, like 20,000 health, 20,000 stamina, 20,000 magicka. And when you're at the level cap with no items and no stats, you only have like 10,000. Like your strength is cut in half in comparison to where you were. However, by contrast, when you're at the maximum level, you are like way more powerful. Like at the beginning, you're like hitting guys and doing a little bit of damage, but later on, you end up doing like you're doing cracking 100k DPS. You know what I mean? Like, and even on the landscape, you can start one-shotting stuff once you start getting good gear. So I do definitely understand that it's like I'm with you there, where it feels weird that you fight wolves the entire way, or bandits or brigands or whatever. But on the other hand, it's like it's an MMO. I can suspend my disbelief. I prefer the MMO style. You stay the same power against monsters and you fight wolves the entire way through, versus the Oblivion style, where the bandits are now just wearing like glass armor in their god mode. Even though like I'm like fighting Daedra lords, but also regular bandits give me the slip. You have a build for it? Yeah, I do. So it's in my Discord. I don't have it posted directly because I'm still testing some things, but the write-up is in under Warlock. So if you're in my Discord and then you go into DDO advice, the DDO advice section, there is a series of channels, and one of them is for Warlock. And then I have a post there that is, the build is called Final Destination Eldritch Blast Only. That's where it is. Did I hurt it? Oh, yeah, I played Path of Exile for 14 hours straight for 10 days straight, or 14 hours a day for 10 days straight, and I gave myself a wrist injury. So now I wear a wrist brace sometimes. That being said, when I take breaks from using the computer, I don't have to worry about it. If you don't have access to my Discord, you can do that here. Also, because I'm just talking about Discord, Discord is going to ask you to verify your age using your government issue ID. Do not do this. Doing so will get you access to adult channels on Discord, but number one, there's other places you can look at adult content if that's what you want that is not Discord, that will not ask you for your government issue ID. Number two, Discord is, or the software that Discord is using for verification is tied to like Palantir and the surveillance state, so don't do this. Okay. Don't give them your information or anything else like that. And if you would like to continue using my Discord, there are no restrictions on this. It's perfectly fine. I will not have any adult channels or anything like that. Yeah, they've also already been proven to have the IDs leaked, where they said that they're only looking at it to verify your age, and then they delete the information, which is a provable lie because they've already had the information leaked where IDs were stolen. So, Discord is still a useful platform for communicating and doing other things. Who knows, in the future, we might find if there's good alternatives. I might have to up and move a bunch of things. But in the meantime, just don't give them your information. Just don't do it. If you need to look up different types of images or different types of things, listen, guys, just use Google or other websites. Anyways, I have bad, sad news. The bad, sad news is that I was going to be here excitedly streaming all day for you guys because it's a lot of fun. But I received some not good news. It looks like my dad has had another stroke, which is bad. And unfortunately, I'm not there. Fortunately, he was with somebody at the time. But I'm going to be going back to the hospital. So hopefully everything is fine, but we will see. But another one in 2 weeks is not good. So we will see. Anyways, that's all I have for today. So I'm going to have to take off. So apologize for the abrupt ending, but that is how we have to do that. If you need more content and you're missing out on things, I did post another episode of Solo Guided Artificer playthrough to hopefully tide you over. And we will be back later. So again, big sorry about that. You know, not good. But yeah, we'll get through on all this. Sorry about the abrupt change, but yeah, I'm gonna head to the hospital. So enjoy your day, you guys, and yeah, like I said, there's a video to watch. Woo. Anyways, again, apologies. But yeah, we'll be back.